price the property just under market value. I'm thinking 3 to maybe 5% under. That way the bidding war is gonna get started and get you all the way up to market or more, right? And that's the goal. More people at the open house, the better. Hey guys, Ennis here, Whiteacre Properties. Welcome back to another episode. Today actually we're gonna go over numbers. I'm in Saugus at 14 Dustin Street, and I have done another video here because this was a partnership with a friend of mine. If you guys haven't watched that video with Douglas, go watch that next. If you are new to my channel, first of all, thank you. Here we cover everything real estate related as we do deals in the greater Boston market. So we go over numbers, we go over renovations, we talk about rentals, we talk about wholesale. So stick with me as we jump into this rehab project. So 14 Dustin is the property address. We purchased this in November of 2021. And we purchased this property for $350,000. Our rehab budget ended up being $90,000. So I think what we're gonna end up with a sale price is gonna be, hopefully, at $600,000. I'm saying hopefully because this is a property that was just listed, and obviously we really don't know what we're gonna get as offers. We are listing it at $529, and we're gonna talk about that listing strategy in a minute, but based on the square footage, based on other comparable sales, we feel really good that we might end up with a number like that. Guys, before we jump into the exact numbers as far as all the expenses and how profitable this deal can be, let me tell you a little bit about why we offered $350,000. This was an off-market property. If you have followed me for a while, you know that I rarely buy anything on the MLS because the MLS is so competitive. This was a deal that my partner Douglas found, was off market, and the seller was looking, I believe, she was looking for $400,000, and we made an offer for $350,000. But the reason why we made an offer for $350,000 is because we use the 70% rule, and I've talked about this quite a bit. We'll put another video up there. But the 70% rule is pretty much 70% of ARV, which stands for after repair value minus repairs. So in this particular project, on day one, actually even before buying it, we thought that would look something like this: 70% times, we were thinking 600 even back then, but the repairs we thought was gonna be 75,000. That's the formula that we follow: 70% times 600,000 minus 75. The 600,000, it's hard to figure this exactly because you don't know, right? You don't know what the property is going to sell for, but technically you want to look at comparable sales and either get an agent that's helping you out, or you got to know the area extremely well, but you're looking at prior sales in the neighborhood that you're doing a deal, similar house, similar in style and square footage, to come up with this number, right? That's the goal, because you want to be as close to the after repair value as possible before even purchasing the property. So $345,000 is what our max offer should be. We ended up offering $350,000 because we thought it's still a good deal. This formula allows us to make a profit every single time. It's an aggressive formula, especially in the greater Boston market, because we have such a competitive market here. We try to go with this every single time, and when we get an offer accepted, we know it's a great deal. Let's talk about real numbers. So purchase price again, $350,000. We took a loan in the amount of $341,000, and this loan actually was from private lenders. So we had, I believe, 6 or 7 people that came in with small amounts. So my partner Douglas got a lot of his employees to join in on this project, and that was really cool because then they can also get a return from a project that we're doing. So we borrowed $341,000. So as a buyer, you got closing costs, you got attorney fees, you got title insurance, you got some taxes. So for us, that amounted to $3,070. This is actually a real number from our HUD statement when we purchased the property. And this is an amount that you got to bring up front to the closings. And then we took a rehab loan of $75,000. If you guys remember, I mentioned that we planned to spend $75,000 in rehab. We ended up spending $90,000. Unfortunately, there was a lot of different things that came up. You can't really predict all of that on day one when you walk into a property. So it's important to have a contingency on your rehab. So if you think you're going to spend 75, maybe put a 10 or 15% aside just in case you go over budget. I've been doing this for 8 years now full time, and I still can't get this number correct 100%. It's just so hard. So these are all at the beginning of the project before buying the house. Now, once you close on it, you got holding costs because you got this property that you own, and every month there are expenses. So some of those expenses are the mortgage payments. There is a lot of mortgage payments, obviously, one each month that you own the property. For us, at 10% interest for the money that we borrowed and the rehab loan, that added up to $20,825. So that's the interest paid to our lenders. So that's an expense. Then we got property taxes. For the 6 months that we're keeping the property, the taxes are $2,300. So the $20,000, it's not per month. The $20,000 is for 6 months of holding. Same thing for the property taxes. Insurance, $1,500 for 6 months. And utilities. You still got electricity on, water, things like that. And those for 6 months, again, somewhere in the range of $1,500. So those are all the holding costs. And typically, you guys should have this money available as you go through the project. Because property taxes can't wait, you gotta pay those. Mortgage payments, typically the lender is asking monthly to get paid. We also have some lenders that don't ask to be paid monthly. They wanna be paid at the end of the project, and that's perfect. That definitely helps with cash flow a little bit. Insurance and utilities, you can get around that. You gotta pay those. So those are holding costs. And then let's go and talk about selling costs. We are estimating that this property will sell for $600,000. When you're selling the property, you got commission to pay to agents, right? You got a selling agent. We are paying 4% commission to them, 4% of $600,000. That's $24,000 in commission paid. Other number here is going to be seller closing cost. As the owner of the property selling this house, you have attorney fees again. You have what's called a Massachusetts stamp tax, which is a percentage of the sale price. And you have some recording fees. So seller closing costs, $3,400. We have all watched the HD TV shows, right? Where you see the sell price, the rehab price, and then the sell price. The profit is somewhere in between. They make it look so easy. There's a lot of different costs that you got going on here. But if everything goes according to plan, if we get our sale price of $600,000, our profit for this property should be $110,000. If you guys run these numbers up, if you add every expense plus the purchase price, the rehab of $90,000. So I put here a rehab loan of $75,000, but the rehab is $90,000. The math will show a profit of $110,000. And that is exactly what we are aiming right now as far as a fix and flip project in the Boston market. We are not really going after, smaller margin fix and flips, meaning 30 or 50,000. That just doesn't work for us anymore because the materials have gone up, labor has gone up, the holding cost and the holding time has expanded. So $50,000 is just not enough margin to really try a fix and flip, because from 50, if something goes wrong, it goes down to 20, and it's just not worth our time. Also, because we go and buy off-market properties, typically we can get a better price up front, right? The money is made when you're purchasing these houses. So profit $110,000. This is a partnership. I've mentioned this before. So Douglas and I came in 50-50 partners, and this will be split in half. So he's gonna get $55,000 of that, I'll get $55,000 of that, and we can walk away, we can do more deals with that money, we can do more marketing. One thing I wanna bring up, because this can seem like a great number, this is not all profit. Fix and flips are considered ordinary income. Any profit that you make from a fix and flip, it's a short-term, quick project, and the IRS looks at that as ordinary income. So you can be taxed, depending on your tax bracket, anywhere from 30 to 40%. So it's a huge number. Don't take that 110 and run with it and spend it all, because actually you should technically put about $30,000 aside and pay the IRS. I am not a CPA, so go talk to a CPA, but that has been our experience. All right, guys, let's actually talk about some real numbers on the rehab side. This is about 1,600 square feet. Right, so it's 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, and we ended up spending close to $90,000. We are definitely rounding up some numbers, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of what it costs to renovate a house of this size in the greater Boston market, because it's expensive and materials have gone up, labor has gone up. So it's important to know, if you're starting a fix and flip, how much you're gonna spend. Hopefully you wanna create a budget from day one, and hopefully you stick with it. But we spent on appliances, we spent on kitchen cabinets, we spent on quartz countertops, obviously demo, electric, the engineered plans, because we had to install a beam and we had to open up a wall. So we needed engineered plans for the town of Saugus to approve that. So we spent $2,800 just on that. Finished carpentry, $6,400, hardwood floors, $9,300 total, because pretty much we installed new hardwood floors, we sanded the existing one. There was a lot of work that happened there. Framing, HVAC, plaster. I mean, these are all the numbers. I can't really go on specifics, but these are numbers that we got from our invoices from our subcontractors. It comes to about $55 a square feet, right? When you think about $90,000 spent on 1,600 square feet home, and this wasn't a full gut rehab, right? We didn't really gut it all out. Our time was spent on kitchen and bathrooms. We definitely gutted those and reworked the floor plan, but we didn't open up all the walls. So I consider this just a step above cosmetics, but it's definitely not a full gut rehab. So $55 a square feet for this project. It goes up to like $125, $150 per square foot if it's a full gut rehab, or if you're building a small addition. So definitely keep that number in mind, and you might end up running numbers that way. If you know the house that you are buying is 2,000 square feet, just go with $125, right? If you are actually trying to estimate the rehab budget. If it's a full gut rehab. If it's cosmetics, keep it at 50, maybe just under it if it's very light cosmetics. But I wanted to share this with you guys. These are real numbers. Take advantage of it. Make sure you run numbers correctly when you're doing a fix and flip project. So guys, typically once you wrap up a project, especially on a project like this one where it took us 6-7 months to finish, you want to run with it, right? The desire is to just be done, sell it, move on to the next one. But right now, at the end of the project, is really where you have to slow down a little bit and make sure that the finished product, whatever you are bringing to market, is perfect. And I'm not saying you need to overbuild or over-renovate, right? I'm not saying that, but make sure that you get professional photos. So whoever agent you are working with, make sure they get professional photos done. Staging. You guys obviously looked at this property. It's fully staged. Yes, we did spend $3,700 in staging, but we're gonna get that money back multiple times, because people that are gonna come to the open house this weekend, they're gonna feel at home. They can already picture themselves or envision living here. And people are buying on emotions, right? They're gonna offer a lot more money if they feel good living here. So spend the money in staging. We stage every single home because we definitely see the return on investment. And the last thing is price. Definitely work with an agent that knows what they're doing, because you don't want to overprice a property. For this house, all the numbers I ran and everything I showed you guys, it showed an exit number of $600,000. However, we are listing it at $529, or we could have listed at $549. So when listing low, we are just trying to get a lot of people to show up at the open house and create that supply and demand economics on this house, right? Because more people show up, more eyes on it, typically we're gonna get more offers and a bidding war. And that's exactly what we want. Now on the opposite side, if you overprice the property and you get 5 people to show at the open house, it's just not a good scenario, because if you don't get any offers that weekend, especially in this environment right now, where everything is selling right away, people will think there's something wrong with the house. So by you listing high, you're just doing a disservice to yourself. You're not gonna get the most amount of money. So price the property just under market value. I'm thinking 3 to maybe 5% under. That way the bidding war is gonna get started and get you all the way up to market or more, right? And that's the goal. More people at the open house, the better. Guys, I hope this was helpful. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm curious if you guys actually got into a partnership before. Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? Please go comment. I'll definitely make time to go and respond. And as always, catch you guys on the next one.